what, chickadee what, I'm gonna rock now.
So you're I'm assuming all caught up on the Nintendo Switch controversy that's now coming up.
Hi, how you doing, Floral? Good to see you. Yeah, no, I just tuned into Pacific 414 Pop Talk, and they covered Nintendo Switch as they did last week, as it was a headliner topic. And the Switch 2. What was your question?
So are you at least caught up on it? I'm assuming this is why you're.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a more powerful Nintendo. It looks like we are not going to have a Wii U situation, but that still stands to be determined because, Wii U, as you remember, was a duplication of effort, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And so there wasn't like a lot of motivation to get it, although it was more robust. And it was that gamepad that was like a big obstacle because, I mean, like you crack that screen, it's a $300 gamepad. It's like, unless you had the warranty plan to replace it, it was like really a big deal. So a lot of people didn't see the value in buying a Wii U until Switch came out. That said, I like the Switch a lot, the Switch one, because while every game console tries to be bleeding edge, they're trying to outperform gaming PCs, except as a gaming PC, you can't upgrade. They always had CPUs that dumped a lot of heat into the room. They consumed a lot of watts, a lot of electricity, and so dumped a lot of heat out. And so you'd always have like the PlayStation 3 variant that was the hog, or the Xbox 360 variant that was a hog on energy, and essentially it would burn itself out. While later models were more refined. And so, of course, that is a concern I have about the Switch 2, but I suspect Nintendo will still, optimize the performance. They won't make it as powerful as the competition because it will be more efficient. It will hopefully have a better battery life. And, in terms of the packages, that was a part of the discussion was like, well, if you get the package, the bundle with Mario Party, you're basically paying $50 for Mario Party. So you might as well get the bundle as opposed to spending $80 for the game. So,
Okay. So basically my impression is that the Switch 2, they tried to fix the problems from Switch 1, which is probably just going to create all new problems, which I'm not really excited about because basically everything's all magnets instead of things slipping and being actually in proper tracks.
Magnets?
So, yes. So the controllers all attach by magnets.
I mean, that might not be so bad, but I'd have to feel the mechanism. I'd have to see a demonstration of the mechanism in action to judge it properly because, rare earth magnets are darned strong. And so the trick with them is that I see your concern because I get it. A track that click. Yeah, I mean, that's like a signature feature, a trademark feature of the Nintendo Switch. Like when I bought my Switch for the first time during 2020, like I literally ordered this thing from GameStop and they delivered it to my doorstep. Within 4 hours. I paid like $4 for the shipping, got it in 4 hours, and it was just like the brand new Switch box in an unlabeled box left on my doorstep, which was kind of hilarious. But like it was cool, and I gained respect for GameStop that day until one day the guy sold me the wrong game, and then I ended up with a $50 game when all I wanted was the little strap for the sports game. But that being besides the point, my point is that. What was my point? Oh, yeah. When you're playing a video preview, because, obviously buy a brand new console, you want to see what games are available in the App Store. And every time I played a trailer for a game, it would have that, and that's like just something that like, it's good marketing. It's good branding, in my opinion. I'm not a marketing expert, but that was good marketing. And so now, are they going to have a cool magnetic like sound effect for that?
Many minutes later.
But more importantly, what I was trying to convey, or what I want to convey briefly, too late, was that maybe it's a magnet, but it also does have some kind of like jigsaw shape. Like, okay, so like this is a rectangle, this is a rectangular prism. And when they go together like this, although it's not locked, the magnet definitely holds it in place. And I will reckon that there's probably a couple of pegs in there that keep it like from sliding up and down. So it's sort of like how my fingers doing this.
I would hope so.
I'll bet you that it's not,
but
but now that said, here's a concern that kind of like, echoes potentially where you're going is that when you're holding the game controller from the side, let's say this is the side of the Switch, it's natural to hold a gamepad like this. But if you're holding the Switch gamepad like this and there's a magnet, that might not be something you can do.
So you're basically gonna need to get like one of those like full gamepads that you can drop it into.
Those are interesting. You're onto something, Floral.
Yeah,
maybe Nintendo will release an official.
Oh no, they will, but then everyone else is going to create a better one because Nintendo wasn't really good at making software or hardware They're just typically good at stories. So that's where I'll land on that one. But yeah, like when people are like all excited about the upgraded graphics, like Paul in the chat there. But this is Nintendo, guys. You can't have an expectation that it's actually going to look like it's the year 2025. You have to expect that it's going to look like the year 2000. So
in the year 2000,
like that, I think is probably one of the most depressing things about Nintendo is all of their games look like they're on the Xbox.
That's the strength of the. That's what I'm like. So I know a lot of people don't like this, but that's the strength of the Nintendo Switch. And maybe it's not good marketing. Maybe like in this day and age, maybe like you have a better read on the pulse of the the average gamer or people who will actually pay money for these things, right? But like to me, I feel like my money went longer when I bought a device that did not like run at full afterburners all the time. But then again, it makes a terrible space heater in the winter, and the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 made great space heaters during the winter.
Fair. But anyway, so when it comes to all the Nintendo stuff getting all shipped into America, apparently you don't have to worry about much of that now, or at least half of that, because I mean, China's really the only place getting tariffed now. So,
well, that was interesting. So I looked at the big chart, and I know we're not a geopolitical discussion, a discourse channel, but I looked at the list, and one of the media outlets characterized it as a misleading list. And in fairness, I felt the same way because, and maybe I'm oversimplifying, so I'll give like two sides of the egg real quickly. Egg. Why egg? There's no two sides to the egg. Anyway, you get the idea. The coin. Here we go. We got a great American coin right over here. This is a beautiful one from the 1800s. Look at that, man. Look at Lady Liberty right there. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway,
that's gorgeous.
Tar Slick. That's what happened. Tar Slick literally, got the chief of security from Star Trek. So one day, like 20 years later, I bought the action figure for my mother, and she appreciated it, and I still have it. In space, it's not like, a boat. You don't just turn off the engine and slow down. You turn off your engine, you're still going to coast at whatever speed you were last running at. So acceleration is measured by adding speed. Anytime you're running thrust in one direction, you're adding more velocity. It doesn't know the difference. Your vestibular sense doesn't know the difference. Obviously, you can look out a window, you can look at the engine, you can feel the engine rumbling perhaps, but if not for those factors, your brain may not be aware of the difference between gravity and acceleration. So it looks like a World War II fighter movie because essentially that's what they borrowed from.
And that's why the tariffs are going to.
Oh, yeah, the tariffs. That's
Nintendo.
what we're talking about. I'm sorry. Go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Hey there! So what you just watched was a portion of our live show that happens on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Apparently you were too lazy to be there that time, but maybe you'll be there next time. Remember, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern.